we intend fully to make 1 in 56 placements. Now, remember we discussed that generally what would happen is we would give you 24 CVs or around that number on a weekly basis, in which case you would contact them and you would grind it down. A number of people obviously would be working. Some of them would not really be interested. Some of them may just not even be in the country. They may be overseas. They may not be available. In which case you would book approximately 16, and out of those 16, 14 would show up. 1 or 2 people may call to cancel, to rearrange, or may just not show up. Okay, so out of the 14 we agreed that generally you should do 14 out of 24 weeks. Now, if you add 4 weeks, multiply that times 4 weeks, we're looking at 56. What we are paying you to do is to bring us 56 screened candidates, out of which we intend to boil down. We'll rescreen. So we screen the CVs, giving them to you. You then screen them. We then rescreen the 56 and come down to 28, and then we rescreen those by live interview again. And then when we go back to the office, we rescreen them again, and we end up with about 6. We put forward the 6 to the client, and we expect to place 1. Of course, the placement's about 15%, so that equates to about £3,400. So if we make £3,400 on one of your placements, we paid you $800 for the month, we're still making money. You agree? You see how the math works out? So it's not, it's very, now there are reasons we're giving you that agreement. We're not giving it to you because we by the way, you are working, in as much as you're not putting in as hard a day's work as a lot of people out there in the UK. We understand they can work kind of hard. We know recruitment, from what you've seen, I know you know you're not going to break any fingernails doing this. So it's a lot of talking, right? So that's not what we consider in the typical world to be hard work. However, you're still going to put in the hours. You'll find that the calls to the candidates, the day that you spend doing interviews, the traffic, everything, it's worth it. It's a full day for you, okay? So yes, you are doing some work. What you are doing, which is most important, is you're getting practice, because you learn by doing. You succeed by doing the right things the right way for the right reasons over and over and over again. No matter what I tell you today, you're not learning. You only learn by doing. Yeah, stuff is going in. You're hearing me. There's no doubt about that. But you're not learning. You can't learn unless you do something. So, over a year, the course of a year, you would have done about 600 interviews. Now, what does that mean? You've done it 600 times. You've learned it. You've done it. You can recruit for any company. You can now represent your company and get the best talent and say, look, I did 600. I know how to interview. I can get you the best talent you want without any doubt. I know the ratios. I know what I do. I put my ads in. I screen, I rescreen. I do my H card. I get my questions right. I meet people. I look in their eyes, make sure that you can say that. Okay, so that's why we're doing this. So you follow? And last but not least, we get to place more candidates ourselves, because there are some positions that are very difficult to fill. If you want a violinist that speaks Russian and German, that's a very hard candidate, very hard vacancy to fill. It depends on what you've got. These positions we're giving you, some of them are going to be very difficult for us personally to fill. So we really do need your help. Anyway, I just set the tone for why this training is here. So this training is an ongoing thing. You can count on the £10,000 a year, because that's what it's worth to you, for those of you doing it on the basic elementary level, which is the £900 package. Okay? All right, let's take a look at our course, our overview. When we give you a campaign, which we are going to do every month, you'll get a new campaign every month. Okay? The campaigns you get are going to last a month. Because we'll give you 24 CVs this week, it's not going to be sufficient. We'll give you 24 next week, and 24 the next week, and 24 again. It's going to take that long to get 56 CVs. A job title is going to have the client's name, whoever the candidate supposedly is going to work for will be there. It's going to have whether the vacancy is exclusive to us or not. Because candidates will ask you, are you the only one hiring for this position? It's going to tell you that. It's going to tell you where the CV came from. Maybe Monster, maybe Reed, maybe My UK Jobs. There are 800 job boards in the country. It can come from any one of them. If we do insurance, we need insurance people, we go to the insurance job board. If we want nurses, there's a job board for nurses. There's one for cleaners. There's different ones. Reed is a general one, but there are about 300 or 400 niche ones. One's for engineers, one for only IT people. Okay? So the candidates generally need to know that where you've got their CV from, or they won't talk to you. Okay, whoever put the ad, let's say this here should be number 5, Reed subscriber. It could be Monster subscriber, whoever is subscribing to the contract on Reed, whoever signed up with them to use the job board. That could be different in some cases. I mean, XYZ company may take the contract with Reed, but XYZ company may have another company that posts ads on there. We just have to make the connection. The number of vacancies, candidates will ask you generally how many jobs are available. The campaign close date, when is it done, over with? Okay, they'll ask you that. But the overview will tell you that. Whether there's a frequently answered questions is required. In other words, are you handing the candidate information to take home? In some cases you are, in some cases you will not. That's going to tell you whether you can do that. The I-form. The I-form is a form that's required to advise where candidates give us permission to use their data and to place them and to try to act on their behalf to get them work. It also gives us their NIS number, and it tells us they're legal to work in the country. And on top, additionally, it tells us they have no unspent criminal records or sentences, stuff like that. That's what the I-form does. This is going to tell you if an I-form is required. Okay? The job description. Are you required to hand out the job description at the time of the interview? It'll tell you whether you should do that. If it tells you you should do that, we will give you those in the pack you pick up. Whatever is required, we will give you. But it's going to tell you in the overview. And the number of interviews required for selection in 11. In some cases it's 2, some cases it's 3, some it's 3.5. It's not just normally just 1 or 2. But it's going to tell you, because the candidates will ask you, how many more interviews will I have to, or where will I do them? Okay? Alright, it'll give you the phone TKOs. The technical knockout questions are questions that you ask a candidate on the phone before you ask him to dress up, waste his time and energy, and come on down for an interview for a job he cannot get. You follow? Yep. So, you ask these questions like, are you available within the next 30 days? Because we'll need you then. If you're not, I gotta hang up. That's a TKO. If he says yes, you proceed with the interview. Okay? So we'll put the TKOs here for you because you'll need to ask those. And the competency model. There are 13 competencies in various positions. Engineers have a competency they look for. Salespeople have a certain competency model. Everybody, nurses have one. Everybody has one. In sales, for example, it's the ability to work under pressure. Meet targets and don't sweat. Okay, everyone is different. So we'll tell you what the model is and we'll give you an overview of all the models. Okay, so you kind of know what we're looking for. Any key attributes we'll put down there, and any notes we'll put at the bottom of the overview sheet. You'll get that in every campaign we give you. Okay. All right, let's go to the next page. On the H card, you're required to put in the interview number. Okay, you leave that blank, we'll put that in. Sometimes we're interviewing for a job and it goes into 200 or 300. We need to keep the track of the numbers to see how we're doing. The ACN number, leave that blank. Okay, the comp model, you put the proper comp model based on the overview sheet. The client name, overview sheet. Confidential, whether it's confidential or not. In some cases, the client does not want his name disclosed at the first interview. So if it says confidential on the overview, you simply tell the candidate, I'd love to give it to you, Joe. But at this point,